The kind of dresses I even wear should inspire you. The kind of, that's your targeting. You have a target. It's not like those that love short, hot, they cannot convert. Many people are moved, which means your branding affects even your consumers. So coming back to your restaurant issues, take it for example, you enter into a restaurant, you eat a food and it's not nice, or let's say the waitress misbehave. The first thing you do as a consumer, you go back there and say, that restaurant, they cook very well, but the people there are very rude. That's already started with spoiling the reputation of the business. In that case, the manager or whosoever is headed needs to do a quick task to amend that. It's either you sack the worker or the worker adjusts his or her behavior. So the branding has a lot. You don't look just within yourself. You can make a name. Can you sustain, like what he said, sustain that name? Going up is not that difficult. Remaining there is a very
because
difficult.
as you mentioned earlier, once you're up there, competitors start coming.
Yes.
Competitors come at you.
Yes.
Right. That's why one of the things we do at AOI Consulting is that we help you to build structures, as I mentioned earlier.
Thank you. Okay, now can I ask the two of you a quick one? You guys talked about pattern, photos, and all of that. Now, I've seen a scenario where, like, you're a fashion designer. Maybe go post a picture of, yes, I once posted a picture with the dress she sold, and someone took it and put it on their catalog. That is one of what they can do. Now, somebody who knows me, and because whenever I wear something that is designed, I must have to talk about the designer, quickly knew that was not a dress that this person designed. So they called her attention to it, like, this picture, this is Mano, and Mano works at High TV, and of course the designer of that dress, her name is Sapi. Why are you putting it up on your catalog as a dress that you call? Now close no, or if you do no, and so I was like, in branding, can you now sue that person for doing that?
Why not? Now coming back to, let's say, the branding as an e-commerce transaction, that is why I will insist and emphasize on the fact that entrepreneurs, in as much as they are fighting to get, let's say, wider exposure on internet, they need to go back. They have the duty to go back to involve in these intellectual properties, right? Because when you cover your business under intellectual property right, let's say for copyright, you have the privilege to use that product exclusively for close to 70 years. And 70 years, you know what I mean.
There's no 70 days.
If you produce even something which is, let's say, 25,000 francs, and you pay your copyright, and I mean you register your product under copyright, do you know you can recover more than, because the person who pay you, they are assuming that the number of years you're supposed to enjoy that product for yourself, that person will cover it. It's a risk, and many
are you guys getting this?
And in Cameroon in particular, we are not aware. Now going back to, let's say, pattern. Pattern is a right given to new innovations. So if you have something new, a dress is a dress, like she said, but I still believe that if this is a suit, I believe many people have suits, buttons, 6 buttons, whatsoever. There must be a distinctive something.
Most definitely.
Which is innovative, because you need to show that there is something different on that thing.
It's like a project.
It's a project, because you really need to show that you were the one who discovered that thing.
Okay.
Yes, it's a normal dress, let's say a normal suit. Yes, but the way this one passed, it's okay.
I'm the one who did this.
And if you cover that, you still have the privilege to enjoy that.
I like that.
And the right lasts for almost 20 years.
I like that a lot.
It's a whole package for entrepreneurs. Enjoy it while you're young. Don't just feel it's not just to create excitement, carries you fling it on online and it's great. Normally for me, I do branding, but you hardly see my products flying like that. And many people ask me why I just stay silent. I have designs that I think I need to just give it to this person and I stay quiet.
Okay.
You don't need to know how much I'm paying for that. the calibers of people you just offer, they are not supposed to be rampant. That's the first thing.
That's the way of harnessing your brand, for example.
You get it. So our youths are carried away. That is why we are excited, because we want to show.
Oh, I like that. Imagine you putting on something and everyone is like, where is this design from? And she's like, oh, Sabina did this. And you go to Sabina, maybe you're on her page and you can't see it, because if people can easily pick that dress online, they will carry it to their funny tailors and all, and they will do their own version. And before long, your own unique one will die off.
Yeah.
People will not even get the real idea. Like even the dress that I wore yesterday, you guys have the privilege of seeing it. I think that's really unique. Most of our dresses are quite unique. You don't wear her designs and you see them somewhere. And even if you bring a design to her that, let's say you picked from one of these our online sites, there's always a way she's going to do it that you know that no Sabina solely clothes. So,
Innovation.
yeah. Okay, someone says branding is a scenario whereby people or institutions upgrade themselves and institutions to another level. We can brand by stepping up our game of stuff that we do. Good morning. I have some people, someone said, this one is saying, unfortunately, he does not have TV. Thank you, God bless you. This person is talking to Sabina. She's like, Sabina looks very good and pretty. So she looks so cute. I'm sure it's your first time of seeing Sabina, right? She's one gingerly girl, but with a very big business like that. Okay, let's go now back to what we were trying to talk about. At what stage of your business do you brand? Can you start branding from when you start the business, or there is a particular point that you can start the branding?
Actually, branding starts as soon as you can start, because remember, if you're talking about business, even the business brand or the corporate brand is a function of the personal brand that gets given a structure.
Okay.
Actually, what you see in the business is the leader or the leaders of the business expressed in the form of a structure. The leader who always comes late, the leader who doesn't keep his word, because branding is very close to culture. And culture is not, general cultures are not written down. Cultures are the unwritten things in the business.
Exactly.
So, but the corporate brand, the brand of the business, is a function of the personal brand of those influencing the business. So, those countries where the government officials are always late, automatically you have the nationals, the citizens who are always late. You get it? So, if you ask me, I would say branding starts as soon as you are going somewhere. You must, from that point, be very clear about what you want people to remember when you are not there. Because even your business and the way the people in your business operate, those delivery guys, for example, is a function of the culture that they have in the business. If the manager, who is not under, I don't want to use the word strict, if he or she is not under strict, an organized structure, and the manager doesn't do enough and just cause anybody to go and deliver, anything happens when they meet the client.
Yeah.
So you discover that the business which we are talking about is a function of the individuals in the business, which means the leaders of the business, the person who has the business, who transfer a culture into that business. That culture is a function of the person's personal brand. And remember, that branding is not just looking good and dressing well. It has to do with the kind of character, attitude, the things you say, how you say them, and all of that. Also, branding also has to do with your competence and your ability to deliver quality, which is what you have been saying a lot about, Sabina.
Yeah.
Right? And all of that. So you discover that if you don't start building that, maybe when you are still a normal person, when maybe you are still, because what many people do is that they try to fix things when the things are already destroyed or spoiled. The better way is to start your branding as early as you can, right? I was doing a training of recent about 2 weeks ago with about 300 plus young people, and I told them that don't wait when you finish from the university before you start trying to make as if you have somewhere that you're going to. Let somebody be able to go on your LinkedIn page, if at all you have a LinkedIn account, which you should have, which is the professional one, instead of being on Facebook only. If somebody goes to your LinkedIn page and you're doing agriculture, can the person tell a story of you and your agricultural journey in the past 3 years online? Discover that they can start building a professional brand, even get to the professional world. But building a professional brand starts with their own personal brand, because if in your personal brand you don't have a vision, you don't have direction, you don't have a strategy, right? You don't know when to post, you don't know what to post, you don't know how to post. And that would, of course, go to your professional brand, which is what happens to you when you become self-employed, right? When you become self-employed, there is a brand that will be speaking. That self-employed person is generally the one who becomes a business person. And the self-employed person that needs to have brand is the one that goes to the business. And then the business and the brand that is built at the top trickles down the entire organization.
Yeah.
So you discover that if you don't start building your brand, and remember, when I say brand, I'm just talking about how you look physically. I'm talking about everything, including your value system and your principles and everything and your competence. If you don't start building it early, when you have a business and you have people under you, you are going to transfer the wrong cultures to them because of the kind of brand you have.
Yeah.
So in my opinion, from research, from a lot of things, branding should start as early as possible. If you can have clarity about where you're going to, if you have clarity about the gift, the skill you possess and all of that, start building a brand around it.
Yeah.
For me, I said in my life that man cannot be perfect, but I'm one of those who want that by the time I'm dead, right, I should be one of those who is pointed and say, no, this man spoke the truth.
Yeah.
That's why when I come and I'm doing business with you, I do my best to do it the right way, because I don't want that you should just go and see someone and say, I forgot about that one. So you might not even like when I'm following structure and process, but I'll follow it because I want you to know that when you come to my business, there is a way that things are done.
Yeah, when he talks, right, before when we just started the program, so when he was talking, there was a picture created in my mind. I remember, and I'm sure some of you do not know, but this is why you keep going to one particular mami fufu, right? This is why you keep going to one particular lady who sells crayfish. There are so many people who sell crayfish in the market, but for some reason, there's one lady. Sometimes she does not even give you the best quantity. Like the quantity could just be like so, but you go to her. Why? Because over the years, she has built a name to be that person who brings quality crayfish. She does not just bring anything that looks like crayfish to you. She brings quality crayfish. So to some people, you have one particular woman that if you want to eat okra, she's the only one you go there. If you want to eat fufu, that's the only person you buy fufu from. If you want to get gari, and it went as far as some people always go to the market, I mean, Moyoka gari. Because at some point, Moyoka people had a name that they were the ones who produced the best quality gari and the long-lasting gari. So all of that we did not know, but that was branding.
Yeah.
That was branding. They had worked on their quality because branding has stages. It has the clarity, the consistency, and all that. So these people had built a name over the fact that when it comes to Moyoka Gari, we don't joke. At one point, no publicity, none intended. There was a bread they called Jeffobi bread. Everybody wanted to buy that bread. I'm not sure the bread is even there again.
Until now, I'm still eating Jeffobi.
Yes. At one point, people, if you go to buy bread for my grandmother, and you bring her any kind of bread, the slap she will give you, you can get the sound of that slap 1 week after, because that bread had quality. You could eat the bread without butter, you could eat the bread without chocolate. So that is it. It's just that it was not how can I put it, like you said, sustainable.
You really have a long-term plan.
Yeah, long-term plan and all of that. So branding starts as far as you just have the idea in your head. Now when you have that idea, like, why do I want to sell eggs? Because I want to put quality eggs. I know there's the lady in the market that if you go, anytime you meet her, the fowl that she sells, that fowl, I don't know what that lady gives to her fowls, but her fowls are always really tasty. No matter how small they are, you cook fowl, and so fowl stand for pot. So I always love buying fowls from her. I didn't know she had branded herself like that. So why do you want to do business? I think that's...
Well, I think I should add a little bit of what you guys have said. Now, as a startup, to me, because I know many will be like, now I don't have this to start up, I don't have money to do the packaging and whatsoever. One of the things you need to put first in your mind is to have a mastery of your vision. If you're having a vision, let's say to be a hairdresser, go and polish your skill. That is a raw branding that you can only pay, and it will sustain your business as long as you want it. This issue of, let's say, entrepreneurs getting into business per se, we have been preaching about you branding your business, having logos, names, slogans, or whatsoever. Yes, you can have the money. There are some people who have money. They buy brands. I'll call it buy brands, because take it for example, I might just come here. I say, okay, fine. I want to open a media showroom, and I have the money, I buy the equipment, put it, look for workers, put it. You don't have the expertise
Never
to maintain that. And then most of the founders of the business, they are not competent themselves. You need to have it. It's an extra advantage as an entrepreneur. Else your business will not last even for 1 year. You will go down. Take it for example, as far as entrepreneurship is concerned, there must be availability of workers. I mean, serious availability of workers. Youth of nowadays, I will insist on youth. Let's forget about the age people. They are not really reliable. Because you see an expert. Let's say you see an expert, you have your business, you know that this is an expert. I will keep in my business place. I will insist on food in particular. Food. You go and buy in a restaurant, they cook very well, but today you eat, tomorrow you want to eat a different taste. You know that the recipe have changed.
Yeah.
What is going on? Yes, the owner of the business has the money to employ good cooks, but because it is not his recipe, he cannot even turn to A or B that, oh, this person is not, fill the gap.
Oh!
In fashion, we call it chain work. You work simultaneously.
She has touched a very nice
spot.
And
it's good because if you, for example, like I always tell my girls, you people with or without you, my business will go. Because if I come in the morning, there were things that they were supposed to deliver, they have not done it, I sit down and I do it. Before they want to come, I've delivered. So whether you're sick or you have your family problems, your mother died, your family died, or whosoever died, your business will still be going. So it's very important. If you don't have money to start branding, packaging, because if you want to talk of branding, it takes a lot. I will not lie. You need to look for videographer, photographer, whosoever, packaging. All those things takes a lot.
And some people see good pictures of companies, maybe some restaurants, their food online. Yes. They just go and take, and I'm like, oh, if one area is ready, and then when we come to buy our own, it looks like a weapon formed against our stomach. She talked about recipe. True, there's a restaurant, I'm not going to call their name. They were known for that particular area. Over time, the person who was cooking that area left, and now the area that they have is not Eruin.
Yeah, so
it's nice. So
whereas if the owner learned how to do it, she would have run it. Nobody will even feel the space. Like nobody will notice there was a
gap.
Yes.
That's why I mentioned that. Aside from the physical aspect of branding, you have what you call the potential. I call it the potential. That involves competence. That involves all those elements. So if you want to brand and you don't consider that, right, you discover that it could easily be a gap. Yeah. Because first of all, you might not even understand how the processes in the business work, right, if you've not mastered it. So I agree with her that, and that's why I said there are a lot of misconceptions, and it's because a lot of people, when they hear branding, they know about photos, they know about nice videos,
believe in packaging,
right? So beyond packaging, beyond the spotlight, that's why I mentioned that while you might not even have money to do some of those bigger things, the little thing that you could start with, for example, is how you receive clients. You could brand yourself around the way you speak to your clients, such that in terms of mastering what you do, even when you are in a bad mood, you still know that it's a prerogative for you, for anybody in your business, to talk to the client nicely.
In addition to that, you enter into some businesses, let's say you want a service, they'll be like, the boss is there, he or she will be like, the person that is doing that one has not come.
Exactly. Perfect.
But you're there, serve me now.
That's a good example.
The person that is doing which one? Who is the owner of the business?
The government offices. I hope you guys are hearing this one, because you guys, you people are. See, there's this lady that works at is it court? She's at the secretariat. Please, if you are going there today, appreciate that lady. That woman can talk to you so nice, you don't want to go back home. She calls everybody darling. Hey, love, what do you want? What do you need? Okay, I think you're supposed to go to room 6. Okay, I'm just a little bit busy now. Can you wait for me? I'll take you there. And I'm like, I'm about to take your time. I'm here. Why do I want to go to? I'm here. If I leave you in a haze, just the way she talk to you, you will look for a chair and sit down.
And she might not know that she has beauty.
No, she's an amazing lady. I'm telling you, I'm sure you've met that lady. She's at court.
On the right side, when you're entering?
When you're entering, there's an office here. I met her there.
Okay.
She was so nice, and they sent me to her. I didn't know she was the one, so she just called me.
Around the registrar?
I don't even know how that place is structured, but I just know. Okay, let me do a little bit of directives. When you stop a taxi, right? You go to court like this. As you enter, there's this building here. Yeah. There's an office. There's an office, and that lady is inside there. Yeah. I was sent to her. I didn't even know she was the one. She just saw me stand. I was like, "Hello, lady," and then she was like, "Hello, fine lady. What are you doing here? Do you need something? Can I help you with something?" I was like, "Well, mom, they've sent me to someone to help me." She still doesn't even know that I'm the person she's waiting for, and I also did not know she's the lady I'm supposed to meet. So she started even helping me before we were both called to realize that we have met. So imagine that she was rude. By the time they were telling me that as a lady, I was like, by the time I was told, I was like, no, it's okay. She's already here. And I tell you the honest truth, I think that was when I was supposed to do my ID card. Yeah, my ID card, the former one, it had expired, so I had to do the new one, which still probably has not even yet come. So I had to do something there. Yes. She helped me. That's what I'm saying, please. And I hear from someone. I heard that day that that's how she is. She always treats people so nicely, which is strange because most women were secretariats. Actually, they are weapons formed against our destiny.
They have a very poor brand, right?
Yeah, that particular one, please. If you go to court today, I beg, appreciate her. Appreciate her. Give her a bottle of anything. Give her Fadasha money. She deserves it.
And in the same line, just because I'm that. Some people be saying, "Oh, okay, I may not have money to brand and this now." I will encourage you to try to find the money. But there are the simpler things you can do, like that one. Yeah. Let your restaurant, which means instead of being at the boss who sits and says that person doing that has not come, you can build a brand around how you treat people. You can render a particular service and people come there and not the other person because of the way you treat them. So that brand now is not physical. It's in terms of the soft.
This is why people have bewitching others at the market.
Exactly.
Your neighbor, when people come to her, she's like, "Hey, my darling, since you fine, what do you want?" The next time you're coming to the market, if you have, you will pass there to buy. But you, when we come to your shop,
you're teaching people share.
Yeah, no, you now become like the problem that this country is facing.
At the door, they'll tell you there's no change.
Yes. No, Sabina, I'm not getting change here. If you don't get change, I better go.
I went to buy, and so I had to ask the ladies out. I'm sure people have businesses. If somebody does like this in your business, how are you going to do? And you know, there's a way you can ask somebody to, could you get, like, there's a nice way, right? So that you speak to somebody, the person goes and looks for change and comes and give you. So even if you don't have change, can you be at least polite? Can you at least cajole? Can you, if you heard how the lady spoke, and I was like, wow, if that's what they're doing in people's businesses.
That's why some businesses have crumbled. It is not because, like Sabina said, it's not because of the manager, it's not because of the owner, it's because of the people they have employed. The people you have employed have ruined your name, ruined your business.
And you should be able to identify.
How can some of them don't even have the time?
And let me just mention this. If you're out there, this is a business strategy I'm giving you right now. How do you hear from your clients? Like the people who say there's no change. How do you hear from the clients who complain about that? And remember, if they don't have a chance to complain to you, they'll go and tell everybody, which will affect your business.
Yeah,
that's so do feedback. You have a feedback mechanism in your business? No matter how small it is, your barbing salon, where you do your manicure, pedicure, where you say your little things, do you have a way that people can come and say, this is what I think about the business? Anybody who wants to grow, anybody who wants to build a brand, let's say around customer relationship or customer retention or whatever, do you have a way that people can come back and tell you stuff about your business? Because until you are able to know what people don't like, you will not know where to improve. And if you don't improve, how then can you be sustainable?
You know something else?
To that effect, many people don't like feedbacks. Yeah, because it's hard. It's a hard truth. Yeah, to me, I believe like what you just said, it's good to always have feedback. Be it negative or positive. To me, even give the negative point of it.
Because, that's an important one.
Yes, it's harsh. It's harsh. I've worked with people that will say, Sabi, see, this thing like this, me, I don't like it, but you know that you did your best. It's harsh sometimes to swallow it. Let's just put it straight. But the person that can openly tells you is somebody who wants you to shape that area which you are not good at. That's just the truth. But many people like praises. They'll say, Sabi, the dress, this one was nice. No, I said no. What did you feel like? How was the reaction when you put on that thing? How do the people reflect to it? That's the feedback, because you might like it, but it's not what others like?
Oh, like my dress. The second, no, I was still sitting down and they were trying to do my hair. One of them is even inside here, Madame Le Broadcaster, Madame Clothing. When they even just brought the dress, when the person was holding it came, all of them were like, Jesus. And also, I was already feeling myself before even wearing the dress. When I wore the dress, I have so many pictures that I didn't even know. When I just walked out, people were taking so many pictures of my dress. And I remember even the day I was talking to her on phone, one of my neighbors was like, Mama, that your dress, that your dress. And so I'm like, I had to even say,
it's very necessary to give that ear, because if you don't have it directly to your client, get it from the client's friends.
They find the feedback mechanism. And as you said, and it goes back to, I'm always talking about the school system. Our school system did not teach us.
Our school system does not like feedback.
Yes, thank you.
They don't like it, and it's harsh.
Because the truth is, there is no love without discipline, and it's usually through discipline that you can improve. And feedback is just a one of discipline.
You just touched a very nice sector that I've always had it in mind. It has been troubling me. Please let me take us a little bit out of branding. In love relationships, we're going to talk about this one fateful week. We'll take Wednesday and Friday. Some of you, especially the men, you think for a woman to show you that she loves you is for her to never complain about you, which is why you have always married knives instead of wives. So many of you men are married to weapons formed against your prosperity, because you wanted a woman who, when you do and undo, let her just make and God gave you. And now the woman has met some men of God like Joshua Selma who have opened their eyes, and now you are beginning to see the premium shaggy. No, we're going to talk about this because many people do not know that discipline is love.
Yeah.
Some of you are depressed about the way your mother treated you, not knowing it was her own way of expressing the love that she has for you and the love that she wanted to express. This mapikiso and no one to make it die young. That is how they could express, even though some of them were horrible. But at the same time. So this particular topic that he has mentioned, people should wait for it.
And it's about branding. Coming back to branding, that's why if you don't get feedback, it means that you are missing part of the love.
Everything.
It's just that, and that's why as a business person, you must be able to put emotions and logic and know how to balance both. Emotions are important. Love your workers, treat them nice, but they must understand. When you look at the levels of energy in business, right, you have emotional energy, which is the relationships, being nice, treat everybody, loving yourselves. But above that now, there has to be what we call spirit energy, which is about ideas. So you can't just be enjoying without saying, okay, what do we do now? How can we do this thing? How can we increase sales? How can we do marketing? How can we adapt? Right? After that, you have intellectual energy, which is that in terms of when you have had ideas, you cannot execute all. You start looking at priorities or opportunities. Then now it's not about emotions. Right? It's not about emotions. Unfortunately, when people build emotional energy, they expect everything to revolve around emotional energy. That's why they run away now from feedback, because feedback is at the intellectual level. When you're taking feedback, you must say, okay, this is my heart and then this is my mind. It's a mind that should receive the feedback. Because the heart is emotional, and so the heart don't take it to heart, as they say, right? Yeah. The heart will only say.
That's why we are boiling back to the fact that the business is an artificial person. Because if you put it that, okay, I'm the business, the feedbacks are harsh, especially the negative ones. But if you put it that, okay, I'm not the business, whatever a client says, you're only a reporter, or let's say you're giving back the feedback direct. You're giving the liability back to the company.
And see, this is what I say about you.
Yeah, and it's left alone for the staffs and everybody to adjust, not only you.
You guys are saying something that many of us have been using this slogan without knowing it. Say, no, na me a bad, na business bad. I think you've seen that. Yeah. Na me a bad, na business bad.
Like, coming back to my case, a lot of people always complain, Sabi, you have a very bad attitude. When somebody writes you don't respond.
See, no, na me a bad,
I always write in single lines. I cannot write more than 2-3 lines to a client, because I always put it that, okay, if you come like a friend, we'll chat like a friend, but if you're talking business,
let's talk business.
Yes, it's straight. Just tell me, and I must not respond to what you're saying, because we are not dragging, right? I'm listening, and when you wear that mood of let's say entrepreneur,
business time,
you're listening to the client. But a lot of consumers, or let's say customers, will always want you, when they drag, it means you're getting them. It's not done that way. It's not done that way, because sometimes our minds are crowded. We have other people we need to take caution. And I need to attend to everybody according to their response.
Yeah, I love the conversation today, branding. I think if you watch this program, for those of you who are not watching now, those of you who come later, even if you want to sell bonbon akolize in school, you ask yourself, but what kind of bonbon akolize do I want? I remember, if I have to put everything we've been talking right now, I see why there are some people who only sell the red chewing gum, others sell only the green chewing gum. You now understand why, despite the fact that there are many restaurants are coming up and people are still eating in these various restaurants, because at the end of the day, people know what they want to do.
Yeah.
You guys don't even understand. People genuinely know what they want. It's just that they've not tasted it. The day that man will taste your own ogbono soup, you realize that he will just stop going to the others automatically.
And branding helps.
Yes,
it helps to pull up a consumer from another person.
Then I witch.
It's not witch.
Some people are not doing juju. It's just their nice
the capacity
attitude and the way they even present their meals. Some people, and then branding too has to do with cleanliness, sister. You're running a restaurant. By the time you're posting food on the status, we see the wall. It is painted, and then another person wants to put food on their status. Only the gas plate. You're already hungry. Please, I'll go there. It's not like I hate you. I'm a friend. You say your friends are not supporting me there. But this brand is now, take it. Your friends will support you.
Yeah, and the little things, because people think there must be the big, the little things.
Very little
like
things.
Like a clean gas plate. Even your leg, if you're taking a photo, are you putting on slippers? Are you wearing something to protect your
let's
hair?
say in cases where, let's say there are some service you're to offer, and you find one place a lot of consumers are standing straight line to wait for that particular thing. Sometimes you look at it as if, is this man using jazz or what? No, it's still branding.
Mm-hmm.
It's still branding.
You get into a restaurant and they give you popcorn to eat while you're waiting for the food, and then there's one nice music. I'll go back there, sister. I support you. I love you. You're my friend, but you see that popcorn like that, it's calling my name.
And what people don't understand is that, as you mentioned at some point, that you have to invest. But when you do your investment, if you calculate what you get, right, with the little investment you make, it's because most times it's just that most people approach this from the short term.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you do it long term, you invest a little, popcorn, some little things, music. Some people they don't even understand in terms of music. Like, for example, a driver is in his car and he wants to play the music that he likes. I'm just saying, something as simple as that. Instead of playing music that the client will like, sometimes you will look at the kind of client entering and you know the kind of music to play. You get it?
I had to caution one driver, say, chauffeur, you dey play the kind of loud music, say, mommy there. He said, you want maybe the high blood book for you? And sister, now public transport, this, and I was like, that's how you missed it. And you just reminded me of something. There's this taxi driver that was trying to pick one mama and I from the Great Sopo market there, and he was so like he was in a haste. Mommy, they were enter your motor with the hurry, and I asked the driver, you want broke the mommy if there and there come help him. This councilman picked him up like we were not supposed to take passengers from there, and then he wanted to be brutal just like he was with that mama, and that's how they just held his vehicle. And the whole of that day I carried it in my heart that it was the way he treated that mama. It was the way he treated that mama. There's some taxi drivers that I'm not thinking that sometimes you stand on the road, the way you're dressed, it affects the kind of taxi you stop.
Yeah.
You see most of these guys with Yaris, and most of them when we are dressed well, we the ladies, pick us with like Yaris says hi, and they're always clean.
Oh,
you understand? You see
that feeling.
Of course. Then some of you be like the choose motor. I will dress like this, and you want me to enter your vehicle that smells crayfish. They'll go to my events and I'll be MC and everybody will be smelling crayfish for my body. No, they will enter your race. Well, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I am very sure you have picked a thing or two from the discussions we've had here. You can brand your small business. You is doing hair. Now, if you want to sell cheap hairs from 5,000 francs, you can still know good quality mesh in the market that if you pick, people buy the hair for 5,000, they will still like it. And they want to come to because you have quality. If you want to sell the shoes, don't just pick anything and you put very high price and then you pick a very nice plastic and you're putting inside. So that's branding.
In addition to that, even if you're selling something cheap, brand a cheap thing. It's just to give an awareness to your consumers that this is the price. To me, that's what I always say.
Nice.
If you want
okrika
for 500, it's available. If you want dress for 50,000, it's available. You need to give them that, and every consumer, yes, they will know. Branding. They will know what you're giving. It's loyalty to your business. It's branding.
Yeah, thank you so
because
much.
You're loyal, you're open, and you give the right information to your consumers.
Thank you. Not like people who will carry a dress or will carry something to you. You will not even tell us the right material to use. You just get, bring your material. I will sew. And then when I sew the dress now, it looks as if I'm sewing it for my grandmother. It's not good. Well, I have been here. We're moving out of the studio. 5 seconds. Look into your camera and say something.
Okay, first of all, thanks for having me, and it's great to have Sabina on set. I just want to say that branding goes beyond the physical, and I think if we understand that, it will change a lot of things. There are other elements, so don't just focus on the end product, how maybe nice it looks, but focus also on the entire process that leads to that product.
Okay.
If you understand that about branding, it will affect the way you do your things, it will affect the way you do everything, and that's what branding is about, not just the physical, which is what many of us understand today.
All right, Sabina, we are listening from you.
Well, it's a privilege to be here this morning. I'll still focus on the fact that as an entrepreneur, in as much as you're looking forward to engage into e-commerce transaction, you should be able to know that your products are exposed to the world at large. So you need to cover those products for your own benefit. Okay. Yeah, because a lot of people will be consuming it even without your notice. I mean, like, there will be people who are ready to duplicate it, and they will sell it. They'll make money out of it. So what are you going to do about that? Will you just create and relax? I believe when creating something, you put in a lot, especially finance. So you need to keep your product up to date, and keep it to yourself.
Thank you so much, Mukwele Sabina, brander of M-Sabi Designs. Thank you so much, Aya Abine, and of course we know he's a consultant, developmental coach, and a lot more. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been your humble host, and I'm looking forward to another live edition where we get to edify you and the public as a whole. We thank Madam Closing Limbi, she's a broadcaster on board, and her 2 interns. We thank Madam Alice Like Ikomi, editor-in-chief, High Television, and of course general supervision, Mr. Eno Ayuk Humphrey. I have been your humble host, Eno Egbeshevile Ikimanjoku, and until we meet again, I leave you with the company of beautiful programs still to come up on High TV. Goodbye.